Do you know what the statewide average is for black teachers?
Not at this moment, sir.
10%.
We'll get that.
10%. I looked it up. The statewide average for black teachers is 10%. Houston ISD, which I'll use as a shining example, you know what their average number of percentage of black teachers is? 36%. I looked that up. You know what their dropout rate is? 4%. I don't want to be 4%. I don't want to be HISD. I want to be a shining example. I want to be the district standard. I want to be the place, the premium place where people go to.
What?
Really?
That's literally the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
What did you just say?
What are you talking about?
Say what?
Huh?
Welcome to Straddled Events. On this channel, we bring you the truth. Sometimes the truth is quite ugly, unbearable, and you just don't want to deal with it. But on this channel, you're going to get it anyway. We deal with controversial and very highly opinionated topics. It is called Straddled Events because most people are one foot in and the other foot out. Meaning, you are straddling between the fence of good versus evil, right versus wrong. And on this channel, we're going to tell you to do better. Let's go.
Initiating report.
Mr. Scott Henry passionately displayed his prejudice against black teachers at a school board meeting, which caused a backlash from the community, and teachers, students, politicians, pastors, everyone is upset about the blatant disrespect of black teachers that came out of his mouth, which ultimately cost him his job.
Scott Henry, a Cypress ISD trustee who's been criticized for comments he made comparing the number of black teachers in HISD to that district's dropout rate. Well, he's been fired from his job as a sales engineer at Splunk. That's a software company based in San Francisco. The company confirmed to us this tweet they posted tonight saying they, quote, viewed the employee's conduct as inconsistent with who we are. At Cypher's most recent board meeting, Scott Henry defended his comments and said they were being twisted for political reasons. We checked to see if Scott released any new statements on social media and found his Twitter and Facebook pages appear to have been deleted.
Wow. You really are stupid, huh?
He's an idiot.
Now, what we saw the other night was the racism said out loud. And if we allow this kind of thing in a public forum by a public official that represents a school district, what are we allowing?
Hi y'all, what's crack-a-lackin'? Oh my god, it's fun to be here tonight. So, we're all here for the Drama Fest, obviously, because we all love drama, who doesn't? But let's cut to the chase. So I'm here speaking on 11A, the Resolution Against Racism. So, as my experience as a Bridgeton High School junior, I've noticed that it's weird. We don't really see color. We don't really see people's sexuality. It's not brought up to us. It's not something we focus on. And I think that can be attributed to the fact that we're so used to it. We're so used to being just like, we know equality. We know what it feels like. Now, having some of our school board members having some of our parents, honestly, trying so hard to pull that away from us. Why is it that the students are the ones at the front line constantly having to fight for our own rights, for our equality, and for being able to be safe in the school district? I mean, come on. So, I know that a lot of people think that the parents seem to be, so important in the schools, but they really aren't. It's the students. And people have such a large focus that we need to be teaching arithmetic, English, science. That's what's the most important thing about school. But what's the most important thing about school? Making sure students feel safe. Making sure they feel that they are equal. Now, do we really want to be cutting things that make students feel safe at school for the sake of arithmetic? Do we need another child to be forced to commit suicide because they don't feel that they are protected by the school district? So, I guess what I want to say is, please focus on the students because we are the #1 priority of the school district. Thank you.
Let me give you a little background about Mr. Scott Henry. Mr. Scott Henry serves in position 6 on the Cypress Independent School District Board of Trustees. He has served since 2021 and was elected to his first term in November of 2021. He is a 17-year resident of CFISD. Mr. Henry lives in the Stablewood Farm subdivision with his wife Jennifer and daughter Audrey. He has 2 other children who are graduates of CFISD schools. Mr. Henry is the Sales Engineering Director at Splunk, which is a California-based firm. He currently serves as a volunteer at Goodson Middle School. In the past, he has participated in the Watch Dogs program, in-school reading programs, Junior Achievement, and Homeroom Mom Helper. In addition to his work with the school district, he serves as Vice President for the Stablewood Farms Homeowners Association, is Director of Municipal Utility District number 389, and is a part of InfoGuard, a public-private partnership between U.S. businesses and the FBI. I think Mr. Scott Henry needs to resign his position because he failed as a leader. By him coming to the board in his position, he has created nothing but turmoil. He talked about harm that people are threatening up against his family and his children and his wife. And Mr. Henry, because of your big ego head and your big ego attitude, your ego inflated, and unfortunately it popped. And this is the reason why your family and your children are getting threats. It's because of you and your mouth.
I'm gonna shut up now for real, but not really.
You created that for your family the same way you're creating all of this turmoil for the school district. This school board meeting was 4 hours, and the majority of it was people completely humiliated, saddened, and all that time spent on saying that you need to resign your post.
You might need another job.
You need to be let go. I believe it doesn't matter if you are a doctor, a lawyer, a reverend, professor, whatever title you have before your name. If you are leading the people in the wrong direction, your ass need to step down because you are a deflection on problems that school board is having that they really need to get to.
I'm speaking on the equity audit. I stand here not only as a teacher, but as a community member. I have lived in this district for over 10 years and have seen tremendous growth. Over the past couple of years, teachers have gone through highs and lows in education, from the pandemic to the recent controversy in regards to CRT. Do we even know what CRT really is? Do we have courses in it? Is it even mentioned in our secondary schools? CRT is not even offered in university until some schools are in their junior or senior year and possibly postgraduate studies. But some of the members have ran on this fear. In short, CRT has nothing to do with making people feel bad about themselves, but to offer insight and perspective on how to better provide services and opportunities. But that's not why I'm here. It was made very clear on Monday how people feel about equity versus equality. Do we even believe in equity? Do you even think or agree that people should have the same opportunities and avenues as everyone else? It was practically said that teachers that look like me are the reason why kids drop out of school. Do you even know who I am? Have you set foot in my classroom? Do you even know my background? Have you stopped and thought to yourself why kids even drop out? I guarantee you that it has nothing to do with the color of my skin. Instead of attacking and questioning teachers, ask yourself, what can I do to best support them? How can I get them into education more so that students have not only someone to look up to, but they have themselves that someone can understand them? I hope that All of you really dive deep into what was said and the damage that it has caused. I'm really not seeking an apology because it will be wasted. I'm seeking that if you are going to sit on the board, that you have to realize that teachers who are day in and day out of striving, not only to provide an education that is equal, but an education that is full of equity. One last thought. I never had any Black teachers growing up. One experience caused me to change my course in life to become an educator. I became the Black teacher that I strongly long for. And despite the false stats that were shared, none of my students to this day have dropped out due to the fact that their teacher was Black. Instead, they have thrived and are changing the world one day at a time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, board. Thank you all so much for allowing us here to speak. I'm here to speak on item 7A, equity and inclusion. And you know, for me, for going to elementary school, middle school, high school here, graduating, Langham Creek alum, this is not Cypher. This is not the Cypher community I know. To sit down here and listen to what I just heard, this is not the community I grew up in. I have classmates that have texted me, Republican, Democrat, doesn't matter. Like, I can't believe I'm hearing this from school board members that once taught me, that I once was in their home, that once welcomed me. Now we're feeding into political rhetoric that is just gone beyond a pale. School board members, when these comments were made, not one of you spoke out. Desmond Tutu said, if you are neutral in situations of injustice, you have chosen the side of the oppressor. I'm telling you right now, history is not going to remember us of choosing the side of the oppressor. We need these equity studies. People forget about slavery. They forget that the civil rights is just as old as many parents that are sitting in this crowd. You forget Cypher High School has plethoras of water fountains. Why? Because it was a segregated high school. Don't forget the history of this school district. Don't let one comment let you forget that. Don't let these people tell you that they're scared of the very same people that they want to live in the same world in. Don't let these people who will celebrate MLK on Monday, but sit down here and tell me that I'm not equal. School board members, administrations,
please conclude your
don't choose the
comment.
side of the oppressor today. Don't choose the side of the oppressor tomorrow. Do not choose the side of the oppressor for the rest of your days. Stand up for us. Stand up for these students
Please
who need
conclude
these
your
equity.
comment. Please conclude,
Thank you
sir.
so much for your time. Hey, they didn't stay on topic, so I'm not going to stay on topic. This is personal for me. This is personal for me.
Good afternoon. My name is Cesar Espinosa, and I'm Executive Director of FIEL. I'm also a proud parent of a Cypher ISD student, as well as my niece and nephews attend Cypher ISD. Si no empiezan a escuchar por lo que estoy hablando, entonces esa es una de las razones porque ustedes no pueden servir al más del 35% de la comunidad. Translate that if you need to help translating that. But basically, to summarize it for y'all, I said, if y'all cannot understand 35% of your students, which are Latino students and their parents, then there's something wrong with this board. A certain board member, which we'll call Tom and Jerry, said that if you hire more Black teachers, then that would be a problem and it would lead to dropout rate. What in the Epoch Times are you reading that told you that was a clear statement to make? Find your news elsewhere or find another job, which I suggest you do both. But for the people that are here, you caused this to happen tonight. You caused this to happen tonight. And to further say that insult to injury and say that you are going to try to rescind the racism proclamation that you all made, which was a bold step for Cypher ISD, which was a good step for Cypher ISD, which made my niece and my nephew and my little sister say, hey, maybe for once I can go to Cypher ISD and not get scorned for speaking Spanish and be understood for being for something that I can't get rid of, which is the pigmentation of my skin. Man, you guys really do put it out there, right? And for those of you who are endorsed by BISMAT, are you really here for the students, or are you here for business? For the people in the crowd, I suggest you look into BISMAT and find out what they do, because some of these board members, including Tom and Jerry, was endorsed by them. And you know, you don't want to see coming back, you need to resign immediately. And that is not a request. That is the community telling you that you need to resign.
Your time has expired, sir.
Thank you.
We'll see you in the next election. And for all of you who love Scott,
Thank
y'all are
you.
racist.
Thank you.
Please move on, sir.
Good evening. Tonight I'm speaking about Agenda Item 11A, the resolution condemning racism and affirming the district's commitment of opportunity for all. I want to begin by thanking the board for signing the resolution, and by doing so, taking a stand against racism and inequality, and committing our school district to truly having opportunity for all. Before Monday night's work session, I was open to the idea of the board rewording parts of the resolution. The board president showed his due diligence in determining how they could go about doing this, and it was decided that the board would work together in creating a new resolution. However, comments were made at the work session that have completely made me alter my opinion on this approach. Board members, notably the ones who were not a part of the drafting of the original resolution, made extremely concerning comments during the equity audit discussion. One coined the term repeat offenders when referring to students during the discipline portion of the presentation, and another called the equity audit a pile of rubbish. He then implied that Black teachers are the cause of a higher dropout rate in another district, something that is completely unfounded, by the way, and suggested that hiring more Black teachers for CFISD is not something he's particularly interested in. This is considered to be employment discrimination and a violation of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. This trustee must resign immediately. There is not enough time in these 2 minutes to go through every concerning comment these two board members made. Their comments clearly show that they have no business being a part of the drafting of a new resolution. I have zero faith they can contribute anything good and truthful to a resolution condemning racism. They cannot be a part of this process, and therefore the old resolution should remain as is. Recent events have shown that we need this resolution in this district now more than ever. Thank you for this opportunity to speak.
Hey there, guys. Yeah, this trustee just took office and is already under fire from all sorts of people on social media and political leaders from across the Houston area.
Following a presentation on Cypress ISD's equity and culture during Monday night's work session,
Mr. Henry.
Recently elected trustee Scott Henry questioned the district spending money on diversity efforts, but his remarks regarding Black teachers and dropout rates are what have many seeing red. Take a listen.
Do you know what the statewide average is for Black teachers? 10%. 10%. I looked it up. The statewide average for Black teachers is 10%. Houston ISD, which I'll use as a shining example, you know what their average number of percentage of Black teachers is? 36%. I looked that up. You know what their dropout rate is? 4%. I don't want to be 4%. I don't want to be HISD. I want to be a shining example. I want to be the district standard. I want to be the place, the premium place where people go to.
Hi, I'm Dr. Tara Cummings, parent and member of Cypress Civic Alliance. I want to express my deep gratitude and respect toward the district and the trustees who commissioned the equity audit. CFISD is a shining example of exceptional public education. We are not, however, a perfect example. The only way to make progress is to continually identify and remediate our areas for growth. The equity audit unequivocally identified a number of areas, including the disproportionate discipline of our Black students, the need to hire more diverse staff, the need to develop and consistently implement clear equity practices district-wide, and the need to create an equity office within the district, and I hope we do those things. I expected that the results of the equity audit would confirm the ongoing need for the resolution condemning racism, and I was right. Two of our trustees, one of whom is deservedly at the center of the current outrage in our community, stated on Monday that they prefer to do away with the resolution entirely and not develop a replacement. That's beyond horrifying, though not at all surprising given their campaign rhetoric. Also horrifying was one of our new trustees' statements attributing poor educational outcomes to Black students and saying, quote, opportunity for all, I don't like that. In his statements and his social media, in which he has harkened back to the segregation of the 60s, he has threaded a needle and stitched a straight line to his deeply seated racist worldview, which has no place in public education or CFISD. The community has responded with absolute ire, and rightfully so. His statement regarding black teachers is simply not true. Anyone who understands the basics of research, who is indeed, and I quote, a big data guy, comprehends that the plethora of data over many years is clear. Black teachers and diverse staff are a boon to public education, period. His statements have caused immeasurable damage, most egregiously to our staff and student of color. It has also served to distract us from doing the important work of becoming not only an exceptional district, but an equitable district. To the board member who made those comments, the writing is on the wall. You need to resign and do so immediately. To our staff and students of color, I am so sorry that you have been subjected to the reprehensible, racist blathering of our newest trustees and their supporters. Please know that they don't speak for our district or our community as a whole. We trust you, we appreciate you, we value you. We belong to each other,
wrap up.
and we will continue to fight with and for you.
Let me explain to you why I feel a certain way about this man's statement. He reminds me of the insurrection that happened on January 6th, that people want to act like it wasn't an insurrection. That mob was just touring the Capitol building. That's what this is. It's a person that wants to make you think that you're not smart enough to hear what just came out of his mouth, or your eyes did not see exactly what your eyes saw. It's called a patronizing spirit type of a person. They want to act like you're not smart enough to see what the hell is going on.
You don't get to tell me that this isn't offensive.
These type of people are dangerous, and they will create little people just like themselves that will grow up to be idiots just like them.
Very possible that these big idiots have made a huge mistake by having these little idiots.
It's impressively stupid and stupidly impressive.
I'm gonna shut up now for real, but not really.
You talking about you don't want to hire any more black teachers when the majority of your school is minority.
Pardon?
People like you should not be in a position to give orders, directions, or anything else. And this is what happens when you have such a big ol' ass ego that you think that you're untouchable. But the public of today is not like the public back during slavery, back during Jim Crow. It is a different breed of people. And people are sick and tired of this racially divided bullshit. Nobody want to hear you slur out all of your negativity coming out of your mouth, creating a bad environment for the children in your school district.
So if somebody of the people group is telling you that it's wrong, that should be enough for you.
Step your ass down, go find you another job, and
Shut up. Shut up!
Close your big ass mouth. And I hope next time your ass will do better.